Hey golf gods and goddesses, just a quick note before we start this episode. Unfortunately, we ran into some audio issues during the filming, so please excuse any audio quality issues you may hear in this episode. I'll shut up now and let you enjoy this episode we hope you'll love.
Welcome to TeeBaggers, the podcast where golf meets a whole new level of attitude. I'm Dale Smedley, co-founder of Golf Gods, and I'm here to bring you behind the scenes of the brand, the sport, and the people who make golf more than just a game.
That's right. If you're here for stuffy country club talk, you might be in the wrong place. I'm Sean Trevelyan, mostly referred to as Bear, the co-founder of Golf Gods. And if you love golf and don't take life too seriously, then grab a drink, kick back, and join us for some stories, laughs, and maybe a few hot takes.
In this podcast, we're digging into all things Golf Gods, from the crazy idea that started it all, to the wins, the struggles, and everything in between. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.
So whether you're a weekend warrior or just here for the banter, welcome to TeeBaggers, where golf is life, but not too serious.
Let's tee it up.
Welcome back to TeeBaggers. Well, we don't just like to interview legends about hitting bombs off the tee. We also like to speak to them about kicking bombs from outside 50 on the Aussie Rules Footy Oval.
Fogarty bunches on the side, takes on Kira.
And today, we have one of the best in the business. He's not just a key forward for the Adelaide Crows in the AFL, he's an absolute weapon.
Well, he's kicked the football beautifully. It's a tough kick from here.
One of the purest kicks in the game, built like a Mack truck. And if you need someone to kick a clutch goal, he is your man. But he's not just a footballer, he's also a golf addict. He spends most of his life down at Glenelg Golf Club, getting more rounds in than some of the retirees out there. Today, we're talking about footy, golf, and everything in between. So strap yourselves in because this is going to be elite. Welcome to TeeBaggers, Darcy Fogarty.
Thanks, lads. Thanks
Welcome,
for having me.
Darcy. Thanks
Nice
for
little
coming
intro.
along.
Thanks for having me.
You love that intro?
Yeah, it was good. It was quite flattering, which was nice.
Nah, very good, mate. So, as we always do, we like to start with the golf questions because it is a golf podcast. So, one of the the rumours that is floating around Glenelg Golf Club, which is your home course, is that you're probably playing 3 to 5 times a week, and I reckon it's sometimes without avoiding pre-season training. Is that true? Or
Yeah, sometimes. I'm on the physio table with a sore back at the club more times than not because of golf. So, it is good. Loving the Glenelg Golf Club at the moment. It's in good nick, so trying to get out there as much as I can. And 3 to 5 times a bit of a stretch, maybe just once or twice. The coaches wouldn't be too happy to hear that.
How do you find the renovations that have gone down on the club? Because there's probably 4 or 5 holes that are been redone, and last time I was there, it was looking amazing.
Yeah, I love them. I reckon they've come across really good. I haven't worked them out yet. Still getting a lot of trouble playing them, but I reckon getting up to that 15th tee block, looking out to them, it's pretty schmick. I reckon they've done a good job with it. And once she's all done and the course is back to playing normal, I reckon it's going to be a really good place.
Yeah, awesome.
Love that. Now, congratulations on your hole-in-one on the 11th. Talk us through the shot, and also how many beers did it cost you in the clubhouse afterwards?
Yeah. It actually didn't cost me any. I got the jug, so where you go up to people and slap it in front of them, you get a free one. But
So how many of them did you claim?
I claimed 4 or 5. We had an internal the next day, so I had to be a bit quiet. Sort of wasted on that.
Yeah.
But I claimed a couple. But the shot, it sort of I didn't believe it. I sort of hit the ball and it sort of went up, and I knew it was going to be pretty close. So I turned to my group to give them a bit of lip, and then they all went up. They were all watching it. It went up, and then a couple of groundskeepers were beside it in bunkers doing a bit of work, and they all went up, and I did not believe them. I was saying, oh, fuck off, they didn't go in. You're bloody all taking the piss. Closer we got up there, the heart started pumping. I couldn't see the ball, and then picked her out of the hole, and
So 11's
haven't
the
gotten near it
whole
since.
little, probably 130 metre uphill one, isn't it?
Yep.
There. We did actually see a hole-in-one ourselves there. It wasn't us, but we were on the 12th tee. We turned around and boom, one hop, hole-in-one. The boys
Straight
didn't see
in.
it, but no, it was an exciting time. So that is a very different sort of golf thing in America, where if you get a hole-in-one, you've got to shout everyone a beer. In Australia, we have the jug, and we claim the jug, and you sort of move around until you're finished. I think, is it true that once the next person gets a hole-in-one, it passes the jug on?
Yeah, yep. So I reckon I did mine on about a Thursday. We played on the Friday, so I was like, right, I'll come back on Saturday. I'll come back Saturday morning. I'll make the most of it there. And then some old bloke, about 90 years old, hit a little hole-in-one on a bloody 80-metre par 3, claimed it, came up to the next time I saw him, and I was like, you owe me a beer. I was like, you are kidding me. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this bloke's taking it off me. had nothing to say to
Stitch
him.
up.
It always surprises me actually at golf clubs how many hole-in-ones actually happen. You know, you think maybe, you know, not too many, but most of these clubs locally around here are getting 1 or 2 a week.
Yeah, well, I think just with the traffic now these days, they're playing so many people are getting through the course. It's bound to happen.
Yeah.
But at Glenelg, there's like you said, 1 or 2 a week. So if you hang on to that jug, you don't want to let it go. So.
Yeah, well, I've got nowhere near a hole-in-one, so I'm still hanging out for mine.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
Obviously, on a footy field, you're known for your set shot accuracy. Is there anything from the footy field with that translate into your putting?
Nah, not even close. I'm a shit ass putter, and that's it's probably one of my weaknesses in golf. I get up there, the nerves get to me, fucking misread breaks and all that stuff. So putting's a real weakness for me, and I don't usually hit it too close to the hole either. So it's something that needs to improve.
Yep.
Yeah, very good.
Now, footy and golf, there's plenty of banter that slings around between the both. What's more brutal, the locker room or the clubhouse at footy?
Oh, I reckon golf gets a bit personal because it means a fair bit too. It's just you out there as well. You can hide behind others on the footy field and sort of cling to other people. I usually cling to Tex because he's a bit of a target and no one comes after you. But on the golf course, when you hit a shit shot, they come for you pretty hard, the boys, especially when you're playing for a little bit of money. So
Yeah.
no, I reckon I'd probably rather be involved in banter on the footy field because it's not usually targeted nor personal. It usually gets a bit harsh on the golf course.
Yeah, love that.
100%. So obviously, with your AFL fame, have you snagged any good tee times off the back of your AFL fame? You know, rang up and said, I'm Darcy Fogarty. I need a 9 a.m. tee time or something like that. Got any specials?
Unfortunately, no. I've tried. I've tried plenty of times, but
we just say you Tex Walker. Or
I
something.
usually just change my name a little bit, and then he couldn't make it. So that's probably got a better chance of working. But it's pretty. She's pretty tight for spots out at Glenelg at the moment.
Yep.
So yeah, well, even Dorse is out there. He's the new ambassador out at Glenelg, and not even he can get us on. So.
Yeah, it is very tough. We did chat about that earlier, just off camera, how tough tee times are to get in Australia. And I think we did mention that there's a 6 or 7 year waiting list on some of these courses to become members. So that's got to be good for golf.
Yeah, well, I think it's massive, especially for I think even the smaller golf clubs. The bigger ones have got so much attraction, and people are being forced to weasel out into the sort of golf course on the outer skirts. So I think through that, everyone's sort of benefiting. Since COVID, it's boomed.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your current handicap?
About 6.
Yep. And how do you rank amongst the other Crows boys? Are you the best, or has someone got your number?
I think Dorse is sitting about 5.5. So
okay.
And he's sitting there pretty as well. He's not.
So is there much banter between you guys? Back and forth.
You're going to get him or anything like that?
I think not really with Dorse because he's probably he's the clear best.
Yep.
But Kieran Strawn is another good golfer, the big ruckman. So he's playing off about 6.5 as well. So it's probably a little bit more. I lived with Strawny for a while.
Big Strawny off 6.5. That's
he smokes
good for
them.
a big bloke, is
he? Long levers, so he just bloody launches them out there. But there's probably a bit more banter between me and Strawny because it's actually close. Dorse he's too far in front, so no one really cares about him.
Good.
So golfers often have superstitions. Do you have any superstitions with your football and your pre-routine and things like that transfers across to golf? Or?
Not a heap. I've got in footy. I've got me probably got me lucky jocks and budgies and all that I wear. But golf's probably the only thing is if I make a bloody good shot with a ball, I'll keep it. Or my tees. Yeah, I'm superstitious about my tees. I've got lucky tees, and then I've got tees that I'm just shit with. So
I have.
They're probably the only ones.
Normally they're a tour tee for me, but
If you could choose any 3 people, living or dead, to play golf with, who would it be and why?
I reckon, Tiger Woods, Ricky Fowler, and probably a YouTuber, like Fat Perez.
Yeah.
The YouTuber. Probably them. I reckon that'd just be good. I reckon Fat Perez, you'd bring the good
pizzas
vibes,
and the beers.
the food that we all enjoy. Ricky Fowler's probably just my favourite golfer. Just going back to sort of the kits he used to wear and how he swung it and sort of what he's like. And then Tiger, probably for obvious reasons, he's just the greatest.
He's the beast.
Yeah.
So Sean and I were lucky enough to play the Australian PGA Pro-Am 3 or 4 weeks ago now, and we chatted on the podcast about things that have happened in Pro-Ams where amateurs have hit players or sorry, what do you call them? People
Fans.
fans around the thing. And it just so happened that Sean was teeing off on probably hole 11, and he's hit it straight into Rowan, our camera guy's head.
Who was about 3 metres away on the right. Sorry, mate.
Have you had any embarrassing moments on the golf course, air swings in front of crowds of people watching or anything like that?
Plenty of shanks and air swings. I haven't hit anyone, luckily, which is good, but the first tee at Glenelg, sort of how it's on a bit of a raised tier and dips down.
Everyone can sort of walk behind you and stop and watch.
Yeah, especially the old ducks.
Yeah,
the old ones are the bloody intimidating ones because you sort of want to impress them a little bit. I don't know why the ego comes into
Look
it.
how long Darcy is.
But sort of you can hear him talking about that when you walk off. You're pretty happy with yourself. Aries missed the ball, chunked them. So not too. I wouldn't have too good of a reputation off that first tee in front of people.
Yeah, I'm the same. I normally grab a 4-iron, hit it to the hill, and just try and get it in play. And it normally goes well right. And
in the scrub.
Do you find any similarities with lining up for a set shot and like lining up for a putt, like in terms of process or thought patterns or anything like that?
Not a heap. I don't really think about it like that. I don't really link the two together. I don't really link much with footy. I've obviously got my routine with set shots and what I do sort of in the build up, but it's probably one of my downfalls in golf is I just sort of walk up and hit it and I don't think about it too much. So there wouldn't be too many. I don't really like linking sports back to footy or to golf. I usually just think of it as a massive escape and just one thing's completely different. So
yeah, love that.
Yeah, no, that's the way I like to play. Just get out there and have a crack and don't take it too seriously and things like that. So obviously we know that you've got a booming foot on the footy field. If you had to compare your swing to someone's kicking ability, who would it be? You can probably say yourself. I would.
Oh God, I don't want to be rude because it's really someone's not a good kick. So I actually don't know. It'd probably be someone like.
What was his name? Levi Casbolt.
I'll keep his name out of him now. He's a big boy. I'll probably go Tex. I'll just go Tex.
Yes.
Tex when he's kicking like shit. That's
Okay.
what I say.
I was going to say he's generally accurate, so but
I know. It's probably talking me golf game. Too much, isn't it?
who's a player at the footy club that's got all the gear and no idea?
Oh, there's a couple. Bloody Matt Crouch.
Matty Crouch.
He's a New Balance athlete, so he's got all the New Balance gear.
Yep.
And when he gets out of the car, you're like, fuck, this bloke can play. And then as soon as he addresses the ball, he is the shittest golfer I've ever seen. I reckon about 4 or 5 years ago, he would have genuinely been playing 2, 3, 4 times a week.
Yep.
And just did not crack it. He was terrible.
Just doesn't have the patience or just ability.
Ability.
Yeah.
It's just mental and physical. Just can't swing the club.
Is he still playing a couple times a week or he gave it up?
He's given up, thank God. He had a couple of kids and he reckons that was his excuse to get out of there, so he took it.
Who are the boys at the footy club that are often getting down to Glenelg and having a hit? Who's the crew?
We've got a group at Glenelg that it's me, Dorse, and Strawny.
Yep.
And then Tex is out at Glenelg as well. And there's a few boys at like Grange. I think there's maybe like there'd be near 10 boys at Grange, I reckon, just because it's so close. A lot of boys live out
that way
on that side of town, and it's next door to the club, so they just duck in there. But I reckon during the summer, when it like starts to slow down a bit, we'd have a group of 15, 20 blokes that are all keen to sort of start a bit of a comp and go out and have a bit of a tournament and stuff, which is good.
Is there much banter in the change rooms around golf? I know it's an escape for people, so they can, especially in that footy environment, being able to escape. Is there much banter in the club, in the change rooms?
There's a fair bit. It's a pretty big topic of conversation. It's sort of whoever's played well sort of struts in and sort of it's always conversation. So they know it's been talked about, so they can walk in on their bloody with the chest puffed out. But as soon as it turns around, they're pretty quick to know about it. Blokes pull them down and say it was a short-lived glory. But
yeah, that is the thing about golf. One day you're playing lights out, thinking you're going to turn pro, and the next day you want to quit.
Yeah, you can't really go out for a nice friendly hit of golf, can you?
Nah,
something's always going to piss you off.
Nah, that's it,
mate. We've got the 2025 AFL season upon us. What are your predictions for the Crows? How they shaping up, and how do you think we're going to go?
Yeah, I reckon we'll go. Yeah, not too bad. I think the team at the moment, it's obviously early, and every sort of team's saying the same thing, but everyone's looking really fit. We've brought in some really good players this year, in like Neil Bullen and Cummings and Peatling and a couple of those young draftee boys. So, I reckon the group's in a really good spot. I think we obviously didn't do as well as we wanted to last year, but in terms of maturing and sort of just taking that next step through the pre-season and learning again, I think it's going to hold us in good stead. So if we can start well, who knows? Hopefully we can build on that. But
that's what it's about, getting a good start. Is Neil Bullen setting the standards? Obviously a premiership player out of Melbourne coming over back to SA. Is he setting the standards at training, or because he is a bit of an elite athlete, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a freak runner. He's probably the best runner I've ever seen. He's probably helps that he's about 75 kilo. I reckon it's a bit harder chugging 100 kilos around, but he's been massive. Obviously coming from a team that has a really good winning culture when he was there. Sort of bringing that into a really young group that we've got here, it's massive for us, and sort of I think it helps the boys like Dorse and all those sort of middle-aged blokes that are a bit older than the majority of the group to sort of help sort of lead and guide those younger boys into where we need to go and what it takes to get going a bit.
Yep. Nah, very good. Nice. So you recently signed a 6-year contract with the Crows. Big deal. But what's motivated you to commit to such a long-term deal down at the Crows?
Yeah, I think obviously love the Crows. I love Adelaide. I went to school up here, and my family are relatively close in Adelaide, so that was a big factor for mine. But then, sort of the relationships I've built, Crows took a pretty big chance on me at the start, and sort of probably didn't work out as well as they would have liked. I sort of had a really slow start in my career and probably didn't deliver as much as I would have liked to. So when the opportunity came to sort of, I guess, show a bit of faith and loyalty back into them, and hopefully develop as along those lines and help out the decision they made at the start was sort of a big factor as well. So, hopefully I can be a Crow for life and sort of be here when success comes, and hopefully have a good career here and sort of, be loyal to a team that give me an opportunity at the very start.
Yeah, well, I'm a mad Crow supporter, and so is the family. So we're looking forward to the next 6 years, and hopefully we get a few premierships along the way.
Hopefully. It would be nice.
Mate, you're recognised for your set shot accuracy. How do you stay calm and collected under pressure? Do you have a routine that cuts out the noise of the massive crowds, especially here at Adelaide Oval where Crows fans are up and about? How do you stay focused and relaxed in those moments?
Yeah, got me routine. So it probably helps. So I count a certain amount of steps back, which sort of takes everything else out of it. So, but after that, you're sort of set. And I've got a little bit of confidence in. I know that if I drop the ball straight, it's usually going to go in the right direction. Yeah. So there's not a lot of thinking going on about it. It's sort of a bit of a kick and hope, really. But if I know that if I do the things I can do properly, it's going to go in the right direction. And you sort of watch it and hope it goes in.
Was there a time as a youngster where you thought, fuck, I can kick the ball a long way? Because obviously you can kick it a lot further than majority of people your age. Was there a time as a junior like, I can fucking kick a long way?
A little bit, yeah. Probably like when I was about 15, 16. I was always a little bit bigger than everyone else as well, so that sort of helped. But then people slowly caught up. Well, not slowly. They quickly caught up once we hit like under 18s, and then you get into the AFL system and you realise that you're a fair way off it a bit again. So yeah, it's been good. But I really struggled with my kicking when I first got to the club, and I sort of worked a little bit with Scott Campriali. He helped me a lot out with my my goal kicking and my routine. I sort of just like putting, just looked at it, walked up and kicked it, and they were fucking going everywhere.
I was going to say, because your approach is the same, but with your footy it's great, and then with the putting you said it's no good. So
yeah, I was like that at the start, I reckon. They were like me putts, they were bloody going everywhere. So had to really simplify that, and from then on it sort of clicked and found something that works and something that's comfortable and it repeats well under pressure. So.
Yeah, nice. Awesome. So you did mention to me off camera before you've been at the club for 8 years. Looking back over those 8 years, what's your most memorable sort of moment in a Crows Guernsey?
There's a couple. There's probably the biggest game would probably be the showdown where Dorse kicked that
was amazing.
Hooper back in.
To cover himself in glory. Just coming back and got there. The scenes at the Adelaide Oval.
That's one. And then there was one where we played Melbourne and Tex kicked that one. I don't know if it was after the siren or it was about 5 seconds to go or something. But
Taylor Walker, he's given this moment. And he takes it, his arms rise around the Adelaide Oval. It's not over yet.
They're probably the two biggest games.
Nice close wins, Close
wins are the good ones because close wins and then walking back into the change rooms after that. singing the song and then going back into the locker room where everyone's sort of just looking at each other and people get their phones out and you watch the last 30 seconds and then you're having a few beers, a few laughs and everyone's sort of just together.
Having a good time. That's awesome. Did.
Finally, mate, for all the young football fans out there and all the young kids that aspirations for AFL, what sort of advice do you have for them on their journey?
Yeah, a lot of the things like don't take it too seriously, especially as a junior. You want to enjoy your footy. You want to take out what you want. So you're playing with your mates. You're doing what you love. That's probably the big thing because that does definitely translate into AFL. Like I said before, not doing as well at the start of my career and maybe having expectations on where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. The love for it did sort of slowly fade out a little bit and you sort of lose that joy and you take away from the fact that I'm doing what I love and I'm lucky to get to play footy and be around my mates every day. It sort of turns into like, oh, God, I've got to go play again. Like I'm not playing well. People are talking about me. Like, what's going wrong? Why aren't things sort of transpiring the way I want them to? So that's probably the biggest thing for me and what I've learned is just to enjoy the moments and the ride, I guess, and appreciate the opportunity that you've got and what you get to do. And it's probably just the main thing that I'd reiterate into a lot of young people is like, if you want to go down this path, just enjoy what you do and appreciate the opportunity because 8 years have gone fucking quick. I'm probably, not many people play 16 years, so I'm well and truly over the hump. So it's, you just got to appreciate what you're doing and how lucky you are.
When you mentioned about having, like, I guess, the pressure built up, early, did you sort of have some mentors or people that guided you and gave you some advice to remind you of that?
Yeah, definitely. I think, me manager, Michael Dowdy, he was massive. He's always been a great support of mine. But then I was lucky like Tex. He's always been massive for me. He's sort of taken me, I guess, under his wing from the very start. And for someone like that to bring me into their family, show me how they do things and sort of just pull me along to sort of learn from, it's been massive. But it's sort of a tricky one because when you're not going well, you're a little bit embarrassed. You don't want to talk about it. And you don't want to show. You put on a little bit of a mask that everything's going all right. And then you get home and you're like, oh, fuck, I'm actually a bit drained here. I'm not being myself. But if you can lean on those mentors as much as you can and open up and be as authentic as you can, it's only going to help in the long run and sort of get you out of those troughs as quick as you can.
Awesome. So we are adding a new segment to finish off the podcast this episode. We actually have I have two sons. Sean has a son and a daughter, but we asked our eldest sons a question to ask you. We asked them yesterday, and we'll roll the footage of them asking the questions. But my son Reed, he's a Mad Crow supporter, 9 years old, plays at Glenunga Footy Club and absolutely loves his footy.
Hey Darcy, who's the worst person on the plane to sit next to?
Well, there's a couple. There's Tex.
Yep.
He's just a pest, and he's big. So Tex and Riley O'Brien, because they're big and they don't move. They got the chicken wings out. And then there's a few boys. Lockie Scholes. He's annoying, and there's a bit of a running gag. He's got a bit of poor hygiene. So he's a bit on the nose, he reckons. So he's not a good one to sit next to. So.
So Tex and Lockie Scholes.
Love that. So my lad Charlie, like me, is a mad Collingwood supporter, but nonetheless was excited to speak to you. So,
hey Darcy, who would you like to be on a deserted island with?
There's a lot of sheltered city boys in our team. So if I could go back, it'd nearly be like Ned McHenry.
Yeah,
he would be right.
He'd feed you, I reckon. He'd catch fish and feed.
And he knows what's going on, but he's pretty annoying. So you've got to put up with him. So hopefully it's a big island where you can distance yourself. But current players, probably be like Dorse or Tex or someone.
Yeah,
keep you entertained. Yeah, keep you entertained and bloody. They wouldn't provide much survival instinct. That'd be left up to me, but that'd be good to be around, I reckon.
Nah, awesome. Well, that's a wrap for the episode. Thank you for coming on. Hope you enjoyed it, and for everyone listening, make sure you like and subscribe. We do need you to review our podcast to get it out there a bit more. So do that on all platforms. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, all your favourite listening apps. So make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks for coming, Darcy.
Thanks for having me, lads. Thank you.